Good morning to all. Now I request Dr. Ramakrishnan sir to welcome to give the welcome address.
Good morning to all. Respected Dr. Selvam, the external examiner of today's Viva OC examinations. Respected Dr. Aramugam sir and the candidate Mr. Manoharan and all participants. I extend my warm welcome to you all. At the outset, I take this opportunity to extend my warm welcome to the external examiner, Dr. Selvam. He is an expert and hello, sir. Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Audible. Audible.
Okay. Also, I take this opportunity to extend my warm welcome to the supervisor, Dr. Armugam, and the candidate and all the expert members and all the participants who are taking part in this occasion. I also extend my welcome to all the persons, those who have supported and helped for the successful completion of this thesis in all manner. So with these few words, once again, I express my welcome to one and all and hand over this session to the external examiner for further proceedings. Thank you.
Very good morning to one and all. I am the supervisor of Mr. Manoharan. I take this opportunity to introduce the external examiner and the guy, my scholar. Everyone in the field of physical education might be knowing Dr. V. Selvam sir, professor, now working as a dean, College of Education in the Annamalai University. He is very famous for his simplicity and very cordial nature, friendly nature in helping in all the categories, irrespective of faculty and student. So he used to help everyone, and he is having much knowledge in the field of research and administration. And he is the one who lift the netball game, netball sport into the national and international level. We are very fortunate to have Dr. V. Selvam sir for this Ph.D. Bio's examinations. I welcome you on behalf of the department, on behalf of the university, sir. I welcome, sir. Now it is a time to introduce about the scholar, Ms. S. Manoharan, basically hockey coach, hailing from a remote village near Kadalur, is studied in the government school from agricultural family and started playing hockey in the schools and represented twice in the school state, participated in the nationals, and 4 times participated in the South Zone Inter-University competitions, And after the sporting career, he entered in the coaching field. After sports participation, he received the diploma in coaching certificate from Sports Authority of India and got recruited in SOI 34 years back. He was working at starting from grassroots level up to the national level. He has produced so many national and international players. Now they are working in different capacities in the public sector institutions, and he is having wider knowledge in the field of hockey. So he is very dedicated, very honest man in his by profession, and very famous for his simplicity. He approached me for he completed his MSc sports coaching in our university and completed MPhil in sports coaching, exclusively MPhil in sports coaching. And now he has come to that highest degree of Ph.D. in the sports coaching course. So this is the some of the facts of S. Manoharan. Now I deem privileged to hand over the session to the external examiner to conduct the Viva's examination of S. Manoharan. Thank you very much. Sir, it is left to the examiners for the further proceeding. Sir, please.
Okay, good morning, all of you. First of all, I thank the university authorities to give an opportunity to become as an external examiner for the candidate of Mr. S. Manoharan in the Department of Sports Science and Training, Coaching and Training. So really, that's a sports university. They get in a great role in the promoting of the sports training and coaching, because those who are experts in the field of coaching, which are other universities, they have the Ph.D. in physical education, especially the Tamil Nadu Physical and Sports University. They give an opportunity to them doing their higher studies in the sports coaching. In this junction, I thank all the university authorities to take steps to promote the coaches in the field of coaching. And especially, I thank to the guide, Dr. Arumugham. He is a dedicated in the field of volleyball. So if you are till Arumugham, everybody knows very well about in the field of sports. I thank the guide to given a chance to me to come over here as an external examiner. And some of my friends, they are already there in the line. Dr. Subramanian sir and Bose, coach is very close to me. So in this junction, at least we have an opportunity to observing all you in that Zoom meeting. And also, so the coach, that Manoharan, because I heard about the Manoharan sir through Arumugham only. He's a dedicated in the field of hockey. And also, he's a coach. I go through the thesis. He done very well about the explanation about what is the training, what is the coaching, and how it's being implemented, everything. So now the time to Manoharan to describe what he has done for his thesis. Now, Manoharan sir, you can proceed further. Sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to everyone, sir. Sir, my name is Manoharan. I worked as a hockey coach more than 33 years. I have selected a particular topic, prediction of hockey playing ability on selected physical fitness, physiological and psychological variables among southern state hockey players. The background of the study is, see, I have worked more than 30 years in the field. I have coached so many teams. So many times I have won the matches in many competitions, and so many competitions we have lost also. Even though I was not able to find out the real fact regarding the winning the match or losing the match. That is why I selected this topic to find out the variables. Among these variables, how it will be influenced to improve the predict the hockey playing abilities for the hockey players. and I have selected, I have taken this test from Southern Sports Authority of India state hostel teams, that is 17 to 25 years old players. The purpose of the study was to predict the hockey playing ability from selected physical performance, physiological, psychological variables among Sports Authority of India training center men hockey players of southern states. Keeping in mind hypothesis, keeping in mind in the statement of the problem, the following hypotheses were formulated. It was a hypothesis that the physical fitness variables, speed, agility, and endurance would be predictor variables for hockey playing ability. It was hypothesis that physiological variables like mean arterial blood pressure, vital capacity, resting pulse rate, and breath holding times would be the predictor variables for the hockey playing ability. It was hypothesis that the psychological variables, aggression, motivation, and self-confidence would be the predictor variables among the psychological variables for hockey playing ability. It was hypothesis that the performance variables, dribbling, hitting, pushing, and scooping distance would be the predictor variables among the many hockey variables for hockey playing ability. Delimitations, the study was delimited in the following ways. This study was confined that only 150 Southern Sports Authority of India training center men hockey players who participated in the South Zone Interzone Inter-SAI hockey competition and All India Inter-SAI hockey competition during the year 2017-18 and 2018-19. The subjects selected are the age group between 17 and 25 years. The study was delimited physical variables to namely speed, agility, and endurance. Physiological variables mean arterial blood pressure, resting pulse rate, and breath holding time. Psychological variables, aggression, self-confidence, and motivation. And the performance variables, dribbling, hitting, pushing, and scooping for distance. This study limitations, the study was limited in the following aspects, and these limitations have to be taken into consideration. The students were from different social, cultural, and economical status, which was taken as a limitation for this study. Hereditary and environmental factors which contribute to performance have not been controlled. No effect would be made either to control or to access the quality of the food, lifestyle, and effect of metabolic functions, as these are recognized as a limitation for this study. No other motivational techniques were followed to access selected physical, psychological, physiological, psychological, and performance variables. Methodology. In this chapter, the methodology engineered in the selection of subjects, selection of variables, pilot study, collection of data, the orientation procedures, tools have been centered. The methodology adopted for the investigation is discussed under the following headings: sample for the study, variable selected for the study, research design, criterion, measures, reliability of data, administration of test, collection of data, statistical procedure for analysis of data. Sample for the study. All the subjects were participating in the South Zone Inter-SAI hockey competition held during the year 2017, 2018 and 2018-19. Only volunteers, healthy and physically fit subjects were selected for this study. Selection of variables. The following variables are selected for this study as given below. Dependent variables, physical fitness variables, speed, agility, endurance. Physiological variables, blood pressure, resting pulse rate, breathing hold time. Psychological variables, aggression, self-control, motivation. Performance variables, dribbling, hitting, pushing, and scooping positions. Research design, repeated measure research design was used with the playing ability in hockey as they selected the physiological, psychological, and performance variables as per the predictor variables. The methodology adapted in this study. Data on physical fitness variables, speed, endurance, agility were collected by administrating standard test. The collected data were statistically analyzed using to predict the variables which influence more on the hockey playing ability. Criterion measures. Speed was measured using 50 meters run test. Agility was measured using shuttle run test. Endurance was measured through Cooper's 12-minute running test. Blood pressure was measured by a period of 1 minute. Resting pulse rate was measured by a period of 1 minute, and recorded the beats per minute. Breath holding time was measured manually using no skip and stopwatch. Aggression was measured through questionnaire. Motivation was measured through questionnaire. Self-confidence was measured through questionnaire. All the performance variables, dribbling, hitting, pushing, and scooping for distance, specific skill set tests were used as the Sports Authority of India selection trials. Test procedure to collect the data for all the 150 Sports Authority of India training center hockey players of Southern State. Reliability of data. The reliability of the data was ensured by establishing the instrument reliability, subject reliability, and the testers reliability. The test and the retest procedure conducted during the study enabled the testers to get refreshed, and the testers were well acquainted with the administration of test. The test and the retest scores were subjected to statistical treatment using person coefficient correlation test. They obtained reliability coefficient and the level of significance were presented in the table below. The test and test question correlation scores on the test administrator as given below. Dribbling, hitting, pushing. For psychological aggression, motivation, self-confidence. Administration of test. These are known as physical fitness variables: speed, agility, endurance for 50 meters sprint, for agility, shuttle run, for endurance, 12 minutes run. For physiological test, blood pressure, resting pulse rate, breath holding time in seconds. Performance variables: dribbling for seconds, hitting for numbers, pushing for seconds, scooping for distance. The psychological variables: aggression score, motivation by score, self-confidence by score. Testing procedures. Speed test for 50 meters run. It is given below under the description of conducting the 50 meters test. Description of agility test is given below. Description of the endurance test conducting is given below. Description of blood pressure test conducting is given below. Description of resting pulse rate testing description procedure is given below. Description of breath holding test procedure is given below. Aggression description of the test conducting as given below. Description of the motivation test conducting procedure as given below. Description of self-confidence test conducting procedure is given below.
Harmon, sir. Just to skip out these things, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
இதை ஸ்கிப் பண்ணிடலாம் சார். ஸ்கிப் பண்ணிட்டு ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜிக்கல் டெக்னிக் போயிட்டு
சரி சார். ஒன்னு இதை படிங்க.
Yeah. The obtained data were analyzed statistically using the prediction equation. The multiple regression method as detailed by Thomas and Nelson was used. The SPSS-PC was used to determine the predictive equation. The given formula was used to analyze the data. Level of significance in all the cases 0.05 level of confidence was fixed to test the significance which was considered as appropriate. Result and discussion. Descriptive statistics on selected physical fitness variables of these subjects are given below. Speed for descriptive statistics on selected physiological variables of the subjects are given below. Descriptive statistics on selected psychological variables of the subjects are given below. Descriptive statistics on selected performance variables of the subject are given below. Coefficient correlation among playing ability and the selected variables are given below. Backward regression method of variables entered and removed are given below. The backward regression method of the excluded variables with the beta and the t value step by step for criterion variable hockey playing ability. The backward regression method of excluded variables with the beta and the t values step by step for criterion variable hockey playing ability. Predictors in the model 2, dribbling and self-confidence. Predictors in the model 3, dribbling, self-confidence and blood pressure. Predictors in the model 4, dribbling, self-confidence, blood pressure and pushing. For criterion variable playing ability. The model summary of the predictor variables based on a R square with the F change values. The variable selected for prediction with beta and the t value for model 4 for hockey playing ability. Showing ANOVA for model 4 variables, dribbling, self-confidence, blood pressure and pushing. Multiple correlation R square change and significance of the selected predictor variables by backward selectors. Beta unstandardized to coefficient constant value and the significance of each backward selected variables. Discussion of the findings. In this study, the hockey playing ability was India training center hockey players with the help of selected predictor variables such as speed, agility, endurance, blood pressure, resting pulse rate, breath holding time, dribbling, hitting, pushing, and scooping, aggression, self-confidence, and motivation. The hockey playing ability was determined by subjective rating by 3 experts and was used as the criterion variable. Discussions on the findings. In backward regression, selection method begins with the squared multiple correlations of the all predictor variables with the criterion variables. The predictor variables are deleted from the regression equation one at a time, and the last two R square due to deletion of the variable is studied. That is, each variable is treated as if it were entered last in the equation. Thus, it is possible to find out which variable adds least when entered last in the equation, and the loss in R square is compared against a criterion of meaningfulness as well as significance. Thus, when a variable does not add meaningfully or significantly to prediction, it is deleted, and when no variable is deleted, the analysis is terminated. Discussion of hypothesis. The formulated hypothesis number 1, it was a hypothesis that the physical fitness variables, speed, agility, and endurance would be predictor for hockey playing ability. The result of this study showed that speed, agility, and endurance are the predictor variables for hockey playing ability. Hence, the hypothesis was accepted for speed, agility, and the endurance. The formulated hypothesis number 2, it was hypothesis that the physiological variables, blood pressure, vital capacity, resting pulse rate, and breath holding time would be predictors for hockey playing ability. The result proved blood pressure were found as a predictor and to be accepted, and in case of resting pulse rate and breath holding time were not found to be predictor, and hence the two physiological variables are rejected. The formulated hypothesis number 3 stated that it was hypothesis that the psychological variables, aggression, self-confidence, and motivation would be predicted for hockey playing ability. The result of this study proved that self-confidence were only the predictor for criterion variable for hockey playing ability, and the hypothesis was partially accepted. The result proved self-confidence and were found as a predictor, and the hypothesis was accepted for this variable and rejected in the case of aggression and motivation. The formulated hypothesis number 4 was hypothesis that the performance variables dribbling, hitting, pushing, and scooping distance would be predicted for hockey playing ability. Thus, the hypothesis was accepted partially. The result proved dribbling and pushing were found as a prediction, and the hypothesis was partially accepted for the variable and rejected in the case of hitting and scooping of performance variables. The table showing the result of the study. Speed accepted, agility accepted, endurance accepted. The physiologically, blood pressure accepted, resting pulse rate rejected, breath holding time rejected. Psychological variables, aggression rejected, motivation was rejected, and self. As per the performance variables, dribbling and pushing was accepted, hitting and scooping was rejected. Conclusions. Based on the limitation and the delimitation of the present research study, it was concluded that the hockey playing ability could be predicted from physical fitness variables, namely speed, agility, and endurance. The hockey playing ability could not be predicted from physiological variables, namely breath holding time and resting pulse rate. The hockey playing ability could be predicted from the psychological variables, namely self-confidence. The hockey playing ability could be predicted from performance variables, namely dribbling and pushing. Recommendation. The result of this research work proved that the hockey playing ability can be successfully predicted through the equation obtained. It was recommended that this equation may be utilized to predict the playing ability of the hockey players. The predicted equation may be utilized for selection of hockey players by coaches and physical education professionals. Suggestion for future studies. Based on the result and the conclusion of the research work, the following recommendations were drawn. This study could be conducted with more number of new predictor variables so that more meaningful predictor variables may be selected on the regression equation to predict the hockey playing ability. It was suggested that the coaches, physical education professionals, and the players can focus more on these correlated variables for improving performance of hockey. The input of similar other psychological variables such as personality dimensions, anger, attention, and other important psychological variables could be used to predict the hockey playing ability. This study may also be conducted on female hockey players at a different level of play. This study may be conducted with a different age group and a different level of play. comparable research study could be conducted on other team and individual sports and games. The prediction equation determined in this research investigation could be used to select hockey players and to find out the hockey playing ability. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to present my regarding that, please.
Okay, Manoharan sir,
Sir.
very congrats for you. Very well done. You are explained for what you have done in your thesis. Really, it's been appreciated one. And on based of the some of the examiners given suggestions, some ordinary questions only. So, what are the problem you are facing during your research?
During the research, sir, only collecting the boys is very easy, sir, because all the players are from our centers only. No problem. Our problem is nothing because we are conducting in the same one location, that is our own center. So we don't get any problems. We get the officials, everything.
Okay, then what is the output for your research and what way it will support you for the society?
Sir, as per the physical fitness, all the three speed, agility, endurance are predicting the hockey playing ability. The physiologically, particularly blood pressure is low because most of the all of almost well-known player, and they are very good in endurance, everything. So the pulse rate will be less, and the blood pressure also will be less. That was that is the only case which helped more for predicting the physiological variables.
Okay, then one more question, because normally, as per you are a hockey coach, so according to your research,
Regarding psychological motivation, yes.
no, sir, according to your research, that motivation they are not having the high impact on that one. Any reasons behind on that one?
Motivation is also helping. Motivation, aggression is also helping. Whereas it is more where I have taken the test, it shows good result. Accepted the self-promotion only.
I think maybe we are you are a conductor for elite players, so may not be motivation, it not be making influences for that one. I think so. Okay. Okay. From the audience side, any questions are raised or any clarification? Even if you want, you can raise the questions through the chat box. Armum sir?
Oh, okay, sir.
Shall we conclude the session?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Manoharan sir,
Yes,
he completed all his formalities because what are the questions asked by the examiners? He very well explained, and the presentation also very nice. Sir, any question? Just to check it up. Any question in the chat box from the organizers?
I will check. I will check, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. Only greetings are there.
Okay. Because really, congrats the Manoharan sir, is a PhD candidate, as well as the guide Armum sir. So he completed all his formalities. So I recommended the university authorities to give an award for a PhD in sports training and coaching. So unofficially now I call Dr. Manoharan. So officially maybe the university they given other formalities. After that they given a award for the PhD in the field of sports training and coaching. Once again, congrats to the Manoharan sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Honor, what of thanks, Solanga?
Yes, sir.
What of thanks?
Sir, I must thank to the first guide, Dr. C. Armugam. He had helped me a lot, and he made so many things, and he made me clear how to make the thesis, how it should be designed. Everything is step by step. He used to teach me. because of this help, I came up to this level. And mostly one of my, you know, sir, our examiner, sir, Mr. Bose, Dr. Bose, he is a good friend of mine. He helped a lot to make me. I used to discuss with him for the studies. He also helped conducting the test and other formalities. I must thank to Mr. Bose also. And my colleagues, Mr. Madi, who is very much interested after doing my thesis. And I must say thanks to our Subramanian sir, who was the professor of the same department, the coaching department. So, and I thank everyone. One and all.
DC member Jackson and Venkatesan sometimes. DC member.
Yes,
Doctoral committee members, Venkatesan.
And also I must thank Mr. This member, Venkatesan Johnson, Jackson. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all.
Sir, examiner, sir, thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, Madi. Madi busy.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Shall I leave, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you
Okay,
very much.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Salute, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.